messenger of death syndrome, and I had prophecy. And that was with my experience in New York City during 9/11. So I was there, living in Queens, living my life, not thinking anything abnormal. But I started at night to have visions of the war with the Middle East, horrible things happening here in America, in New York, right on my doorstep. And of course, I thought, because I was only like maybe 19, 20 years old, I thought that won't happen. This is New York. Same as what a lot of people thought about these fires that are happening right now there in New York. You know what I mean? That won't happen. This is New York. Or that doesn't look right. This is America. It's so rare that we have like a war like that here. And there were images of the Middle East. So I was confused. It got worse and worse and worse until every single night, all of the dreams that I could remember were about this warning in New York that I needed to leave the city, that this war was coming. And I still tried to ignore it, but I did talk to my partner at the time who worked in both towers in Manhattan. He worked for Cantor Fitzgerald and Merrill Lynch. No one lived off of either floor that he worked on. People jumped and lived from floors up above, but no one lived off of either floor. I did tell him I was seeing this, and he got uncomfortable because I had known him a while and that wasn't the first thing I had seen. And when it started to happen during the day, where in the middle of my day, I would be walking down the street or shopping or whatever, I would have a vision of this war coming. And I went to him and I said, we're going to have to go. We have to get out of here. He went to his boss, told his boss, I need a transfer out of here. Where else can we go? And his boss offered him a promotion and a massive pay raise. He came back. I said, no, it's getting worse. We have to get out. Go back and say you need a transfer. So he went to him again and he offered him more money. They love upstate workers. We'll work ourselves to death in New York. Everyone attacked me. Everyone there attacked me and said that I was acting crazy. I was losing my mind. I was ruining my life. I was ruining my daughter's life. If you're not in New York, where else are you going to go? Where are you going? What do you think you're going to do? You're taking all your opportunities away. You're taking all her opportunities away. I remember a sibling of mine saying to me, you can be living in Manhattan in 4 months with the amount of money he's making. And I started to think, I'm definitely going through something. And that was the breaking point for me where I really gave into my intuition 100%. Everyone literally was against me. And I had to either sell myself out, okay, or I was going to do this thing. So he went back eventually to his boss and said, I'm not doing any of this. If you're not going to give me a transfer, I got to go. And he gave him a transfer. 9 days later, okay, the transfer was to Buffalo, New York. 9 days later, we're sitting there in boxes, and I was in like Kenmore, New York. I didn't even know where the heck I was. And like the towers go down and all these names are coming up on the news for days. It was just the most traumatic. And my phone is ringing off the hook. People saying, how did you know that? Why did you know that? Like, how is this happening? And apologizing and this and that. I don't want to talk to anybody. I cut all those people off. But, that for me was a huge wake-up call that I was on a time crunch when I have these visions. 9 days, I made it out in 9 days. He would have died in those towers. 9 days, I pushed it that far. That was foolish.